I'll do what I can, everybody. So, hey, what's up, new? Kyle King says Marty has to still be going to AEW, right? I would assume so. Definitely a shocker to see that. So, let's just jump right into that tonight, Dave. So, if you did not know, NWA had a show tonight. And during the Aldis and James Storm match, well, after the Aldis and James Storm match, we had a certain someone show up and make a surprise debut. I don't think anybody had Marty Scurll showing up at NWA. I know they have a pass between the two. I know Marty faced, I believe, Nick Aldis for the championship before, and I think he lost, right? Is that correct?
Yep.
There? So
on one of their shows, yeah.
There is history between the two, and it's perfect timing with NWA picking him up after him losing last night at the show and pretty much done with ROH. So let's show this clip. It's from Twitter, so hopefully it doesn't lag. Oh, thank you.
Quack, quack.
Thank you for your help with Silky Mania, gentlemen. We are grateful.
Thank you, Speeds, for letting us be on the show last night. It was very, very, very cool for you to have us on there. It was an honor and an awesome show last night. Oh, wow. Back-to-back bits from Richie Vargas and Speeds. Thank you guys so very much for that. I'm trying to figure out, because the OBS is kind of messing up. It's not loading the chat, so I have to watch it in another box. So if I miss anything or if I take too long to answer you guys, my apologies. But let's check out the Marty Scurll debut and get your guys' thoughts on this. Oh, maybe unmuted, of course. Listen how you could there's barely anybody there. It's crazy how small the crowd is at NWA. But what did you think of the debut, Dave? I don't know if you were able to see it because I know Twitch has messed it up on your side.
I got it on my TV. But I'll say this: your daughter is not a fan.
Yeah, she's having a fit back there,
10,000
guys.
bits.
Yeah, just to get to well, thank you, Richie Vargas. Yeah, I could hear my daughter having a fit back there. She wanted to come up and play. But what did you think of Marty Scurll showing up at NWA tonight? I saw Bob Ruski put in the chat room that this is probably one of the last places he would have thought Marty Scurll would show up. I'm still kind of shocked about this. I'm not really sure what the end plan is here. Is he going to beat Aldis? Is he going to stick around for a little while? Is AEW still going to pick him up? Is NWA going to allow him to be on both shows? What do you see with this? It was a shocker to see that. It was just me checking Twitter, and all of a sudden I saw Mr. Warren Hayes tweet about it. I saw Bob Aruski tweet about it, that Marty Scurll shows up and confronts Nick Aldis. They did face each other at NWA 70, I saw Bob Aruski put in the chat room. And they do have history, like we mentioned before.
They're in Impact together.
Yes. What do you think the end game is here? It seems like this is maybe Marty's way of kind of helping out his buddy Nick Aldis. Maybe they're offering him a good. I don't know how much they could actually give him to be on the show. But what did you think about it?
It was surprising when I seen it like you. I seen it on Twitter. I didn't watch it, of course. But Yeah, I mean, good for them. I mean, well, think about it. They don't have pyro to pay for. They don't have entrance music. So, I mean, maybe they can afford to pay him a little bit of something. And I mean, of course, it's probably just a favor to all this. And this is something that the
Thank you,
NWA
guys.
needed for this pay-per-view. They only could afford to do 9 weeks of TV on YouTube. So, they needed something big for this pay-per-view. Taking the, what is it called? A page out of New Japan's book by doing this. You know, by having someone show up after you successfully defend your title. That's really what they do a lot of. After a big win, a title defense by Okada, someone would show up. But yeah, I mean, good for them. They needed something like this to create a buzz after the pay-per-view. Like, has Marty signed officially?
Now,
You know?
that we will not know probably till later
But
this
she
week.
hasn't.
No,
I'm
there's
sorry.
no way. No
And
way.
they would be all for.
I look, already on Twitter, you get a lot of people already saying AEW fans are upset because they were dying to see him show up at AEW either this past Wednesday night or maybe next week or after the New Year. I know AEW fans were hoping to see Marty Scurll show up. Now, I don't think this is
You probably still will.
exactly. I don't think this is them saying, "Oh, we're not going to have Marty Scurll at all at AEW." But you have to think, wow, this is kind of shocking to see him show up there in any type of capacity. I know he has friends there, and maybe this is him kind of saying, I'm not scheduled to be with AEW till maybe January or February because of the pay-per-view. So I'll kind of just kick back, do a couple of dates with NWA, and then when my time comes with AEW, I'll jump over there. Do you think this is going to help them? I'm not really sure what they average. Thank you, Richie Vargas, for the bits there. Very generous. I mean, y'all are being very generous tonight with the bits. Thank you guys so very much. Do you think this helps NWA? I don't really necessarily watch NWA Power live all the time, so I don't know what they average viewer-wise when they're live, but do you think... I'm sure the first episode, if he's on it, they will do pretty solid. But what do you think they'll do with Marty Scurll on? Do you think this will be a game changer for NWA?
No, because, look, we don't even know if they're going to do a season 2 because their season 1's already over with. They're already done for the season. They did 9 weeks, and that was their season 1. So we don't know if they're going to come back in January and start doing shows again. I don't know. Maybe they are. But, yeah, I think this creates some buzz and gets people to tune in and check them out. Maybe if they do come back to YouTube the next few weeks or so. Maybe this will create that. People want to see you with Marty. But this is probably just a way just to say Marty's like, I'm the hottest free agent out there right now.
Yeah, well, and here's my question to you and to everybody in the chat room. Say Marty Scurll does end up facing Aldis at a future... Would they do that on a live... not a live, but on a YouTube show? Or do you think they'll save it for another pay-per-view? Now, again, I don't know how NWA does their pay-per-views. But my question... Hold on. My question for you is...
This is the first time I've cheered a bit. How I did this right.
Thank you, Kyle, for cheering the... Man, y'all are being so very generous tonight. Thank you guys so very much. Appreciate that, again, for all the generosity tonight. If they do this match, wouldn't it kind of hurt? Oh, I know he lost on his way out from ROH, but that's expected. Do you... Back-to-back losses before debuting on AEW, do you think that kind of hurts Marty Scurll a little bit?
No. And you talked about the pay-per-view. I think they said the TV title is going to debut on their January 12th or 22nd pay-per-view in January on Fight TV, I assume. So I think that's when they're going to if they had a match with him and Aldis, that's when they would probably do it.
Let's get to the chat room real quick because they got some questions here. Why NWA, says Snacks? I get it's historic, but the money and big exposure is at WWE and AEW. Bobaruski says, is this the same arena they use for Power, the same small... Yes, I believe it was. Like it. It was the same arena. Is NWA even a real wrestling show? They have a bunch of short matches. It's on YouTube. Marty Scurll is probably just there for a cup of coffee. He's probably still joining AEW. Richie Vargas says AEW fanboys are mad. What's up, Alice? How you doing tonight, noob? Welcome to the show. Bob Ruski says, I'm sure Corgan threw Dixie money at him.
Keep up the great work, guys.
Thank you, Bill.
Corbett don't have Dixie money. Her parents are like millionaires in Texas or whatever, so yeah.
Mr. AEW says, do ROH and NWA still have a working relationship? It was pretty cool seeing Willie Mack and Aldis in ROH. I believe Bob Ruski said, nope, it's been done for months already, which that's a shame. I think if they had a working relationship... Yeah, because
they pulled him. Didn't they pull Willie Mack from like wrestling and there at a pay-per-view, ROH?
I would not know. Maybe Bob Ruski or someone in the chat room can let us know on that. He's probably signed a short-term deal. Brody Lee, a.k.a. Luke Harper, is going to be the next big AEW debut, in my opinion. Now,
Spurs won that game, but almost blew it.
Thank you, Richie, for reminding me of that. Here's my question for you on this. And we all know Luke Harper was recently released. He probably has a 90-day clause to where he can't wrestle anywhere else until that 90-day clause is up. Do you think AEW said, hey, look, listen, this is if this kind of hypothetical here. Say AEW or Cody Rhodes said, hey, Marty, we're going to sign you, but we don't want you to debut until Luke Harper is available for us because we want you guys to come in as a faction. So let's let you go out, explore, do whatever you want to do, but when the time comes, we want you to come and sign with AEW. You think that maybe they went that route, or do you think this is just him playing until whenever AEW is ready for him?
So we're assuming they're going to put them together as a tag team then?
Hypothetical, yeah. Assuming that they put them together as a tag team.
I mean, yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, but I think the money would be in to have Marty Scurll show up at the AEW's pay-per-view coming up in February. That would be the smart. And let Luke Harper or what is Brody King? They said he's going to be called or something like that.
Yes, he did trademark it, so it'd probably be Brody.
So why not have him show up on his own?
Excuse me. Is it Brody?
Okay, Brody Lee.
Yes, Brody Lee.
Yeah. Okay. Let him do his own thing. Let him come in on his own and either joins the inner circle, have all more XWE guys joining Jericho, and let him do his own little, what he wants to do. Don't make him come in just to be someone's tag partner. Let him do something bigger, I think, would be cool.
What's up, Jeffrey Cross? How you doing tonight?
How long till the Ascension show up? Are they showing up with him?
You never know. Also, Tony, let Kyle be on the show. That we have to have. Kyle has to be on the show one night. That's definitely a must. Get Kyle here on, because he is the weekend warrior, isn't he? We have to have him on the show one night. To me, Power is more promo surrounded than any ring stuff, which is true because most of the ring matches are very, very short. Or
disqualifications.
Or, run-ins or some sort of stuff like that. But, yeah, it's very interesting. Definitely, I would assume got people talking about NWA tonight. So it did its job, and I'm very curious to see what happens with it next. I don't think we can all pretty much kind of go with he's not going to be there for a long-term deal. I don't think he's going to be, we're going to hear, Marty Scurll signed a 3-year deal with NWA or anything like that. But maybe this is just kind of him kind of killing time until his debut with AEW.
And really quick, NWA would be more than welcoming to share talent with NWA because they'll do anything to get a rub from the AWA. AWA would love to get a rub from anybody. Still. But yeah, AEW.
Marty's just playing with WWE. He's going to all the indies and going on their shows, but never WWE.
Tony, can you answer me a question?
What's up?
The Rock and Roll Express still the tag champions?
I don't know. I didn't watch the show, and nor did I read results. So maybe I think Bob Ruski watched the show. He can let us know, and I'll let you know what he says since your Twitch is kind of malfunctioning. What does Speed say? See, I missed it. See, I'm watching it on my. Let's see. I maybe tuned in to like 2 matches from NWA's pay-per-view, not the full show, said Bob Ruski. Oh, okay, fair enough. Speed says, playing with fire, letting that guy on your show, says Speed. Hey, I understand that. Well, maybe we can all get on here. I was going to say have a foursome, but that was probably the worst wording I could have used. But we want to get you guys on the show one night. Definitely had to have you on to return the favor of letting us on your show last night.